Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank you for choosing us, for being part of our show, and for your continued support to this channel. Please consider subscribing if you're watching for the first time. I have realized that ever since we lost the former Chief of General Staff, General Ogola, in that very unique and strange military chopper crash, the country has been reduced to some chopper political theatrics between President William Samoei Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua. And after the burial of General Ogola, of course, we heard that the chopper, the military chopper that he was supposed to be using, was taken by a senior politician in this country. And as investigations are still going on, there seems to be a diversionary tactic to exactly what is happening. Because for the third time running now, we are being informed that Rigathi Gachagua have been denied a military chopper. We were first informed that during the National Tree Planting Day, Rigathi Gachagua was supposed to go and officiate the tree planting exercise in Bomet. And when he went and requested for a military chopper, he was told that there were instructions not to release that chopper. Now, today, we are also being informed that during the Madaraka celebrations in Bungoma, Rigathi was denied a chance to use the military chopper. In fact, it started about some 2 days before the D-Day when he wanted to go and inspect the Masinde Muliro Stadium just to be sure that it was fit and that arrangements had been made that befits the celebration, because both he and the president was going to be there. He was denied that chopper, so he did not go. And on that material day, Rigathi was told that there was no provision for him to use a military chopper. And that informed the decision why Rigathi Gachagua took less than 1 minute to give his speech. Apparently, he was not very happy. And it also informs the decision why he didn't attend the Madaraka celebrations. He actually left William Ruto and he was meeting some of his tribesmen and was mingling with Mount Kenya musicians and people there. Shockingly, as instructions were being given that Rigathi Gachagua was not allowed to use a military chopper, apparently the vice president of Equatorial Guinea came to the country. And while in the country, he was given a military chopper to go and enjoy himself. He was going to see animals in one of the national parks in Kenya. And this has sparked a lot of debate because people are wondering what is really happening between the two gentlemen, the CEO and his deputy. The deputy president of Equatorial Guinea is called Teodoro Nguema Obiang Mague. Donald Kipkorir is saying this, that His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua is our deputy president and constitutional principal assistant to President William Ruto. Rigiji is free to travel everywhere, locally and abroad. There are no warrants out for him. Teodoro Nguema Obiang Mangue is the vice president of Equatorial Guinea. Teodoro Nguema is a kleptocratic and corrupt son of his equally corrupt father and namesake Teodoro Obiang, who is the president of Equatorial Guinea. Teodoro Nguema is a fugitive from US and Europe. Father and son have impoverished their country whilst they stash billions in secret accounts abroad. If it is true that our deputy president was refused an army helicopter to attend national celebrations in Bungoma, whilst the fugitive and thieving Teodoro Nguema was given it to go see animals in Masai Mara, then heads have to roll all the way in the military command. Politics aside, you cannot subordinate our deputy president to a criminal foreigner. It will be a state capture by foreign cartels. There are lines a country cannot cross if it respects itself. So Donald Kipkorel simply is airing his views that here we were denying our vice president, our deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, a chance to use the military chopper. Yet we were giving it to a vice president of Equatorial Guinea, and of course, he's expressing his concern that the son is the deputy president to the father. That is how Equatorial Guinea has they have turned it to a kind of hereditary kind of leadership. But we don't want to go to what is happening between the son and the father in Equatorial Guinea. Let me ask you, do you support the idea that deputy president is denied a chance to use the military chopper, yet a foreign is given? As always, someone is telling me, we don't care. That is the answer that I usually get when I ask this question. But ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want us to try and figure out, why do you think this military chopper politics is grabbing headlines? And why do you think? Because exactly what is happening is that Rigathi Gachagua is being frustrated, and it all depends on how you look at it. I don't know who started. Some people feel that Rigathi Gachagua started sowing seeds of ambition to try and control Mount Kenya, something that did not go down well with William Ruto. But William Ruto is basically frustrating Rigathi Gachagua. So what exactly is happening? One, there is a kind of unwritten intention that State House wants Kenyans to link Rigathi Gachagua to the death of General Ogola. That is how I look at it. Because immediately General Ogola died, of course we knew, because we were told, that there was a swap. The military chopper that he was supposed to be using was taken by a certain politician. Some people are saying that it is Rigathi Gachagua, others saying it's Duale. I don't know. But after that, we've seen an effort to ensure that Rigathi Gachagua does not use a military chopper. And many people, if you look, I always tell you that listen to street politics, listen to what people are saying on the ground. Some of them always come out to be very true because they also interact with the people of the military, they interact with politicians, and some people feel that William Ruto wants Kenyans to connect Rigathi Gachagua to the military chopper crash. And there's this concerted effort for people to imagine that the reason why he's not giving Rigathi Gachagua the military chopper to use is because a politician took a military chopper and General Gola died. With that, people will absolve William Samoei Ruto and they will try to link, because people are now asking, why is it? Why is he denying it? Why is he denying Rigathi Gachagua a chance to use a military chopper? So I feel that he wants people to connect it to the death of General Ogola. Number two, the frustration around the military chopper is meant to provoke and humiliate Rigathi Gachagua. Because what William Ruto wants to do is to ensure that Rigathi Gachagua is vexed to a point where he will, unleash his anger, thereby portraying him as a person who is not fit to hold office as early as their first term. And that's why you've seen sometimes Rigathi Gachagua taking a low profile. For example, when he was denied that military chopper, the first time he was denied that chopper to travel or to fly to Bomet during the tree planting day, Rigathi was actually annoyed and he skipped 11 state functions. There were reports that he switched off his line. He could not be found, and even the office of the deputy president could not explain exactly where Rigathi was. But this second attempt to frustrate him, Rigathi took that moment and went to Bungoma. He welcomed the president, albeit with very few words. He didn't speak much, and then he found his way out, leaving the president with his henchmen there. And it seems Rigathi has refused to be intimidated and is trying to counter William Ruto using other means. Number three, William Ruto wants to show Rigathi Gachagua who the real boss is. I think that is happening. I remember when they disagreed with Uhuru Kenyatta in their second term, people used to tell William Ruto that there is only one president who was elected by the people of Kenya. But they are tied at the joints, and there's no way William Ruto, even if he tries to frustrate Rigathi Gachagua, Rigathi will still take have the privileges of a deputy president, the salary, the security, and all that. The new constitution does not allow the president to do anything with this deputy. You can slash the budgetary allocation, you can deny him a chance to travel here and there, but there's nothing much you can do. So this is meant to show Rigathi Gachagua who the real king is. But after all that, what is the end result? Number one, this is meant to force Rigathi Gachagua to resign. And after he resigns, William Ruto will easily replace him with Anne Waiguru or Ndindi Nyoro or maybe Kimani Chungwa. That is the end result. And Rigathi knows this very well. His people know this very well. They are trying to push him to a wall, to a corner, so that he can resign. And when he does that, William Ruto will simply give them one of their own. And it will be said he walked out himself, and he will be replaced by another Mount Kenya leader. And then it will be an equation well balanced. And I know Rigathi Gachagua understands this very well. For the very few years he's been a deputy president, he knows and he understands politics. He will not resign. And if he does not resign, maybe the last thing or the least they want him to do is to stop the ambition of uniting Mount Kenya, of campaigning, because Rigathi has stated the whims of power. He understands how sweet being a deputy president is, and he does not want to be replaced by any other person, even though he was not the first choice to replace the deputy to deputers William Ruto. He has now tasted it, and he does not want to let it go. So he's really ensuring that he captures Mount Kenya and becomes the kingpin. So William Ruto would want him to resign, and if he doesn't, I think it is a coded message to lay to lie low and to play the loyalty card, which is really trying. I don't know what to think about these frustrations, but if you ask me, the end result is to force Rigathi Gachagua to resign, but he will not. And that's my take.